Hello everyone, my name is Anas Nouri. I'm an associate professor of computer science at the Tofail University of Kenitra in Morocco. I'm affiliated to the information processing and the artificial intelligence research team of the CETIM laboratory. Today I'm excited to take you on a journey into the future of medicine, a journey where artificial intelligence or AI is the guiding star. In the next few minutes, we will explore how AI has evolved and revolutionized the medical field, the wide array of applications it has unlocked, a specific research project focusing on cerebrovascular aneurysms analysis that I was involved in. And finally, the challenges that AI is still facing in the medical field. So let's begin our exploration of AI in medicine. So the first question that can arise is how can we define artificial intelligence in healthcare? Possible definition is that the AI describes the use of machine learning and software in order to mimic human cognition in the analysis, understanding, exploitation of complex medical data. That is to say, we intend from AI to analyze and understand complex data similarly to a human being, but also to make a decision based on this data. Now, let's look at the present and future of AI. The healthcare industry's destiny is closely, and it's obvious, to AI. To put into perspective, consider the substantial investment made recently in the first 6 months of 2022 alone. A staggering amount of 3,000 billion euros invested in medical startups. And in 2021, an astronomical amount of $10 billion was injected into this sector also, as reported by Rock Health Investment. But what does this mean for traditional medical roles? Well, here's a thought-provoking quote from Geoffrey Hinton. You must know it. He's one of the most renowned researchers in artificial intelligence, particularly in artificial neural network. In 2016, he said, "Radiologists will disappear as typographers and counter staff. We can stop the training of radiologists." And it's definitely obvious that in the next years, deep learning will do better. So this statement highlights the transformative power of AI, which is already proven to outperform even the seasoned radiologist in some area. Fortunately, AI hasn't replaced it and will not replace doctors, but it's obvious that it will be harder to do without it. That is to say, artificial intelligence in healthcare isn't about replacing doctors, it's about enhancing their capabilities and improving their skills and also improving the healthcare system overall. Indeed, AI will be used to improve everything, starting from diagnosis to billing system. For example, AI is saving doctors precious time. Not doctors, but their precious time. It has reduced, for example, surgical planning efforts by an astonishing 80% for oncologists performing complex procedures like removing tumors in neck or head, for example. Also, it's important to know that AI has played major roles in the COVID-19 pandemic. It has enabled the anonymization and bulk sharing of patients' data, facilitating a more efficient response. It has created also new synergies between private and public organizations in order to understand rapidly the evolution of viruses. And to crown it all, by December 2021, there were a staggering 38,730 articles associated with AI applied only to COVID-19, spanning across various reputable journals, of course. This shows that COVID-19 has emphasized the intensity of AI research. Now let's consider the level of optimism and commitment toward AI, which is an important lever in the integration of artificial intelligence in the healthcare sector. A remarkable 75% of healthcare executives believe in the potential of AI. This is impressive, and also an impressive 9 out of 10 hospitals have an AI technology based strategy in place in United States. So this demonstrates the widespread recognition of AI's value in healthcare. Between 2019 and 2020, for example, the deployment of automation system increased from 23% to 34%. So this is a significant jump, but it's important to note that many of these systems are still in the planning stage. There is work to be done, of course, to fully realize their potential. That is to say, the potential of technologies based on AI. Faced with many challenges, AI still has a long way, of course, to go before it becomes an integral part of healthcare sector. The strategies range from data privacy that concerns and that is a problem to regulatory hurdles, and overcoming them will be critical for AI's success. I will talk about these challenges at the end of this presentation. Now let's talk about evolution of AI in the medical field or medical world. We'll focus on a significant milestone in this journey, that is the transition from expert system to machine learning systems. First, it's important to remind that AI is not a single technology, but a diverse collection of technology with various applications. For example, I think there is a problem with my slides now. No, I think it's okay. No, it's okay. So now let's talk about the different types of artificial intelligence technologies we can find in the medical field. In this field, traditional machine learning stands as the most widespread form of artificial intelligence. Its applications are diverse, but one of the most popular and impactful use is in predicting the success of drug protocols. Neural networks, a more or less complex form of machine learning, have a rich history in healthcare. Indeed, they were first introduced by Margarita Sordo and her team in 2002. Neural networks have been instrumental in categorization applications, particularly in determining whether a patient is at risk of developing a specific disease or not. Their ability to recognize complex patterns has proven invaluable in medical diagnosis. Now let's turn our attention to deep learning, one of the most advanced and complex forms of machine learning. Deep learning has found extensive use in the recognition of carcinogenic lesions in radiological images, as demonstrated by Rasul Faker in 2013. Its capabilities have been harnessed to enhance medical imaging, and it's increasingly integrated with radiomics. I think you know what is radiomics. It's a field that focuses on extracting valuable information from medical images. That is to say, it's a kind of feature that are automatically extracted from medical images, but they are probably associated more to feature engineering than learning engineering. So this integration has led to significantly improved performance in various medical imaging tasks. Regarding the natural language processing, which is abbreviated to NLP, It has emerged as a technology with strong potential in both medicine and medical administration. In healthcare, for example, NLP plays a pivotal role in creating, understanding, and classifying research documentation. It enables also the structured analysis of medical notes, facilitating the generation of examination reports and transcription of patients' interaction during AI-based conversations. This has a profound impact on improving documentation information retrieval in healthcare. Now let's turn our attention to the evolution of robots in healthcare. Robots have evolved to become more collaborative with humans thanks to the integration of advanced AI capabilities into their system. This augmentation of surgical capabilities for surgeons is translated into benefits, of course, such as enhanced visibility, less invasive incisions, and improved suturing techniques. Robots in healthcare also play a crucial role in logistics by ensuring the delivery of supplies to hospitals. Surgical procedures guided by robots have become increasingly common in various fields, including gynecology, prostate surgery, and surgery of the neck and head, of course. In conclusion, machine learning, neural network, and deep learning are driving transformative advancements in healthcare, from predicting treatment outcomes to enabling more accurate medical imaging. These technologies at the forefront of innovation in the medical field are essential for the development of healthcare. Now let's delve into one of remarkable applications of artificial intelligence in the field of medicine. In 2018, an application developed at Seoul University made a significant impact. This application harnessed the power of convolutional neural networks, CNNs, and applied them to analyze 43,292 chest X-rays, which were meticulously noted by several radiologists. What makes this achievement even more impressive is that the algorithm's performance was not just compared to other machine learning models, but to the detection capabilities of several doctors who examined the same images. What was the result? The AI model outperformed 17 out of 18 doctors. To visualize the effectiveness of the model, the image on the left represents the input to the CNN model, while the image on the right showcases a potentially carcinogenic region identified by the AI model. Another remarkable development in healthcare brought to us by Google AI Healthcare in 2018, that is named LINA, short for Lymph Node Assistant. This innovation is revolutionizing breast cancer detection. Indeed, LINA is a pioneering model designed to identify metastatic breast cancer from lymph node biopsies. One of the major breakthroughs of LINA is its ability to detect suspicious areas within biopsy samples that are often undiscernible to the human eyes. This level of precision can be a game changer in early cancer diagnosis. Perhaps the most impressive aspects in LINA's accuracy is classification, or in classifying cancerous and non-cancerous samples, achieving an accuracy of 99% rate. Considering short-term potential of AI technologies, the latter can verify doctors' diagnosis and interpret patient data more quickly and effectively, all while maintaining a high level of accuracy. This means that medical professionals can benefit from AI as a valuable tool for their everyday tasks, helping streamline the diagnosis process and reducing the time it takes to provide critical care. Regarding the long-term potential in the future, if AI becomes more autonomous, it can operate independently to handle routine tasks and diagnosis. This would enable doctors, for example, to focus their expertise on cases that require their unique judgment and problem solving abilities. Cases that algorithms alone cannot effectively address. Uh, Now let's take a look at a research project I've personally been involved for several years. Um, this project is associated within the pathology of intracranial aneurysms. So first, what are aneurysms? Intracranial aneurysms are pockets that are developed after dilatation of the arterial wall at the junction of three arteries that we call bifurcation. These are known as saccular aneurysms. These are other forms of aneurysms in different parts in the body, but we are particularly interested in those that form at the level of Y-shaped arterial bifurcations. The problem is that they are asymptomatic, meaning that no symptoms such as headaches appear. And that's the big problem because in the most cases they are detected by chance during a clinical exam dedicated to another pathology. Aneurysms affect 3% of the population, and the major danger is when they rupture. This means that the aneurysms have started to grow, and at some point, aneurysms they rupture, resulting in death in 50% of cases or a permanent disability. A number of factors contribute to the development of aneurysms, including alcohol, smoking, high blood pressure, age, heredity, and even female sex. Sorry for you ladies. As you will have gathered, our studies focus on the imaging part of this project and thus on the arterial geometry of the brain. To put you more in context, this project named ICANN began in 2017 that was carried out by an interventional neuroradiology team at Nantes University Hospital and the INSERM of Nantes, which is a multidisciplinary medical research laboratory in which I was recruited. The aim of the project is to understand the pathophysiological mechanisms of intracranial aneurysm formation. Also, one of the goals was to define generic and geometric biomarkers for the prediction of aneurysms formation and rupture. And another goal was to define biomarkers and tools for automatic detection and characterization of aneurysms, and also the bifurcation that got these aneurysms so that they can be followed over time. This would help towards the ultimate goal of predicting aneurysm rupture. Over the years, a number of grants have been obtained for several projects linked to this programmatics, as the WeCan or UCAN project, which is of major interest for practitioners. The first question posed by this project was, apart from genetic factors and health predispositions, can a person's cerebral arterial geometry favor the development of aneurysms? To answer the question using a 3D brain volume, we first had to extract the arterial tree of the brain. This is to say, to remove all white matter and fluid, leaving only the arteries through arteries. So the first question posed by this project was, apart from genetic factors and health predispositions, can a person's cerebral arterial geometry favor the development of aneurysms? To answer this question using 3D brain volume, we first had to extract the arterial tree of the brain, remove all white and gray matter, such as fluids, leaving only the artery through which blood flows, and secondly, characterize the bifurcations and analyze the results of this characterization to try to predict the occurrence of an aneurysm. So the first goal is to segment explicitly the vascular tree from an MRI image as shown in the figure on the left, and to have only the vascular tree shown in the figure of the right. Obviously, as you may have guessed, we will use deep learning technique to achieve this task. I'm not going to give you a deep learning course or lecture, as I think you already know how it works. So the problem with deep learning that maybe you know already is that on one hand it requires a lot of data, and on the other hand this data has to be labeled by specialists. This means that it's the specialist doctor who has to segment each image to obtain the ground truth, and so the deep learning algorithm will try to find a function that links the non-segmented version of image to the segmented version of image. As a result, this takes time and has to be repeated for each image of the database. But labeling can also be subjective. That is to say, it can change from one specialist doctor to another, which would pose a problem. So we thought about how to get around this problem by using images of mice acquired from a microscanner, as shown in the figure below. The advantage of such images is that we obtain from the microscanner an image that contains only mouse arteries without any other material. This is due to the injection of coloring fluid in the brain of mice into the arteries prior to image acquisition. The innovation of this approach lies in training the network to believe that it is training to segment human images, when in fact it is training on mouse images that resemble to human images. Of course, the humanization approach, that is to say the transformations of a mouse brain image into a human image, would have to be very precise, otherwise the test results on human images would be completely wrong. We have had pretty good results, even if our neural network has never seen a human brain image in the training phase. So I invite you to read our paper to more understand how we have humanized mice images. We have reached an accuracy of 86%, even if our model never seen a human image. Of course, other studies reached 90%, but they necessitate more human image, more doctor specialists to do the segmentation and to generate the ground truth data to feed the CNN. Now let's move to the second step, allowing to respond to the question, can a person's cerebral arterial geometry favor the development of aneurysms? For this, we have proposed two approaches. One that detects bifurcations over the brain, and the second approach that characterizes the detection of the bifurcation. Once the image has been segmented, The aim now is to detect the bifurcations present in the brain's vascular tree, in particular those belonging to the circle of Willis. To do this, given a human or mouse cerebral vascular tree, here I'm showing a mouse's vascular tree for a better visualization, we start by calculating first its skeleton and then computing an undirected 3D graph on this 3D skeleton. To do this, given a human or mouse cerebral vascular tree, we start by just binarize the image and compute some morphological operators to have only the center line of the bifurcation. So, for example, in this figure, we can see a bifurcation, a real bifurcation in the left, and its skeleton in the middle, and the graph associated in the right. And for this, for the bifurcation detection, we have had only to browse the 3D graph, and at each node, if this node has more than 2 neighbors, so this node constitutes a center of bifurcation. So this is how we have detected the bifurcation center on a cerebral images. Once the bifurcations have been detected, all that's left to do is to characterize them. To do this, we extract a 3D crop around each bifurcation center. Our approach starts by calculating cross-sections area, diameters, and angle, but also the tortuosity, that is the curvature of the bifurcations branches, and the geodesic distance of the mother branch. And to assess the influence of arterial geometry on aneurysm formation, we considered 25 patients with aneurysms on one of the mirror bifurcations in our brain at the circle of Willis. We characterized the aneurysms bearing bifurcation as well as its mirror bifurcation without aneurysm, and displayed the results as box plots here. From the results, we can see that aneurysms bearing bifurcations have wider angle, a larger cross-sectional area of the mirror branch, a greater geodesic length of the mirror branch, but also a less tortuosity. Schematically, the results can be translated as shown in the image and intuitively as follows. If a bifurcation has a large angle at the level of the daughter branches, a mother artery with a large cross-sectional area, with a long geodesic length and width, a low tortuosity, then this will result in an acceleration of fluid flow due to the low friction caused by the low tortuosity, and the gain in the velocity due to the length of the mother artery. This fluid flow will push and dilate more violently the arterial wall at the junction of the daughter branches, forming hence the aneurysm. We now turn to objective number 2, which answers the following question. Can we automatically recognize bifurcations of the circle of Willis? The neuroradiology department we are working with is very interested in a tool that would enable them to locate and recognize all the circle of Willis bifurcation because of their high potential for aneurysm formation. This will make it much easier for them to diagnose aneurysms. In more specific jargon, we speak of an anatomical atlas. The problem with brain geometry is that it varies from person to another. For example, I might have all arteries of Willis circle, but you might not have this. This variability makes the recognition more difficult for an algorithm or a model. To define the problem, we constructed a simplified diagram of the Willis circle, and determine the bifurcations to be recognized from A to M. To create an atlas, we generally take a reference image with all the parts to be recognized present on this image. Then, having a new image to test, a registration is made on the original image using affine linear or non-linear transformations to align them. And this is how we can recognize the parts of a new image. This classical scheme necessarily requires this registration step, which has two major shortcomings in our context. First, registration is computationally intensive in a 3D image context. Second, for a good registration, nonlinear transformations should be used. However, we know that they could change the arterial geometry of the vascular tree. We have therefore proposed a machine learning-based approach that enables automatic bifurcation recognition without a registration step used in all competing approaches. The approach consists of two phases. The learning phase, in which a set of images is segmented and bifurcations are detected and characterized. Bifurcation characterizations are then projected into a subspace that maximizes the variance between bifurcation features using LDA for linear discriminant analysis. Machine learning algorithms are then used on the LDA component to classify the bifurcations. At the end of this learning stage, the LDA coefficients are stored for testing new images after undergoing the same process. We have also proposed a second approach in which we use an autoencoder to extract image features in reduced dimension instead of using features derived from feature engineering as we are doing in the first approach. The idea is to split the autoencoder into two and take advantage of the features computed by it to provide input data for classification algorithms. The novelty of this approach lies in the fact that we have also classified bifurcations that do not belong to the circle of Willis, making the approach more suitable for use in clinical context. The results obtained were better than those of the state-of-the-art. The results of the two approaches are difficult to compare given that the autoencoder-based approach includes a class for non-interest bifurcations. Several perspectives are open to us to improve the results, such as balancing the bifurcations in the database. In the same year, a new paper appeared after hours with better results, achieving recognition rates of up to 100% for certain bifurcations. The goal number 3 is to propose an approach that can detect automatically all intracranial aneurysms within a medical 3D image. The problem, once again, with deep learning is the need to have large image databases that are annotated by specialist doctors. As you know, medical specialists are not available to annotate hundreds and hundreds of images. They have to search each image to align or to highlight aneurysms that are present and collect their 3D coordinates. So we thought about it and said how if we can create artificial or synthetic arteries, synthetic bifurcations, and synthetic aneurysms that we can put on these bifurcations, and hence we have 3D images that are similar to a human's ones. So using 3D segment transformations and noise analysis, we can collect noise from real MRI images and replicate it into artificial segment images. Obviously, it's more complicated than what I say now, as we have to reproduce the different materials in the brain, such as white matter, gray matter, and cerebrospinal fluid. I'll spare you the details of signal analysis, which you can find on our paper. The advantage of such a method is that we can obtain the artificial grayscale image with the bifurcation, but also its segmented version built in parallel. We can also create a ball-shaped aneurysm, then degrade it and place it in the bifurcation. Obviously, the results obtained by this approach, that is to say, synthetic bifurcations, must be carefully compared with real bifurcations so as not to feed the neural network with images that don't represent reality. To this end, we performed a texture comparison between real and synthetic bifurcations using heraldic texture features, the variance of the Laplacian, and the Tenengrad coefficient for blue revolution. Strong similarities were obtained at each time, validating hence our synthetic bifurcation model. It's important to know that this was the first bifurcation model in the literature. With this unique synthetic model, we can hence generate thousands and thousands of ground truth data to feed the deep learning model or the CNN for the aneurysm recognition. Of course, the adventure doesn't end here. We still have to detect aneurysms using this synthetic bifurcation model and monitor aneurysms evolution to predict their rupture. Now, algorithms like these illustrate the potential benefits of AI in medicine, but what's stopping them from being used clinically? It's important to know that AI in healthcare often involves highly complex mathematics, making it difficult to deconvolve. This is a black box for patients and for doctors. So companies are expected to be more transparent, but it's not always easy. So the question that can arise is there a need for more transparency? Massive development of public-private research clusters can help address this question. A key concern is also patient confidence. This means, would you rather be misdiagnosed by a doctor or an algorithm if you are assured that the algorithm does a better job than the doctor? The answer is not trivial. Another important point is that there is a lack of standardization of AI algorithms and infrastructure that varies widely between hospitals. An effective, validated algorithm won't work everywhere due to these disparities. Efforts are needed to establish common standards and infrastructure for consistent AI implementation. Also, strong protection of private data slows down the development of AI in healthcare. Is it as good or bad idea? Maybe we can say that automated anonymization of clinical data could be a way out to balance data privacy and AI advancement. As for the impact of AI errors due to data quality, this can be disastrous because the human lives at stake. For example, an AI-based algorithm in the United States recommended higher quality care programs for white-skinned patients than for black patients. So it's disastrous. This was my presentation. I hope I provided several new informations for you related to AI in the medical field and the healthcare field in general. So don't hesitate to visit my webpage to learn about my research works and the different approaches we have proposed in the medical field of aneurysms based on AI technology. So don't hesitate also to contact me if you have any questions. And I say to you goodbye and see you soon. Goodbye.